Y'all, so the courtroom got real dark. I'm talking about Cassie finally breaking down in front of the jury and spilling secrets that got folks side-eyeing Diddy even harder than before. But what really got everybody whispering isn't just the off tapes. It's not even the $20 million hush money. It's this random resurfaced video, a clip Diddy probably wished never saw daylight again, where he's cuddled up next to a little white girl named Ava Baroni, a girl who called him Papa Combs, a girl he said he adopted. But here's the plot twist: he never legally adopted her. So why was he parading this young girl around as his daughter? Why was she telling folks she met his real life daughters, Delilah and Jessie, when she was just 6 months old? And most of all, why is she nowhere to be found now that Diddy's on trial for
I met Jessie and Delilah when I was 6 months old.
6 months.
Well, this is where Cassie's testimony takes us to a truth way deeper than anybody expected. So buckle up, because I'm about to break down everything. Now, Cassie Ventura walked into that courtroom with receipts and trauma, but she revealed it wasn't just about her, it was about the empire Diddy built off of manipulation and silence. She testified that Diddy used to parties to control her, sometimes forcing her into acts with strangers, other times threatening to leak the footage if she disobeyed him. Now, one time he even played a video on a public flight, her to behave. That same Cassie said she once tried to walk into traffic just to escape the trauma. If it wasn't for her now husband stopping her, she admitted she might not be alive today. And the court isn't just talking about a Diddy's trial involves federal, and prosecutors are arguing that he ran a whole criminal enterprise with help from his inner circle. But that's not even the worst part. But when she started talking about how Diddy would use children and family as cover, creating this image of a father and a mogul and a protector, that's when people started connecting the dots about Ava Baroni. So let's rewind a little bit to 2020. A video resurfaced online recently showing Diddy sitting beside a preteen white girl who introduces herself as Ava. She says she's a Scorpio born in October, and she calls herself Ava Combs, then quickly corrects it to Ava Baroni. Well, Diddy sits back, smiles, and says, "I adopted you because I felt you could enjoy also having a black parent to take care of you and help you out."
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baron.
Ava Baroni Combs? Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I adopted you because I felt that you could, enjoy also having a black parent to take care of you and help you out. So, just clarify it, because it's crazy out here online.
He kisses her on the cheek and she giggles and calls him Papa Combs.
It's Ava Baroni Combs. Come on. Let's go.
Now, before you think that this was an official adoption, TMZ later confirmed Diddy never filed any legal papers. They claimed it was a skit allegedly made for laughs, but nothing about that clip was remotely funny. Ava told the story of how she met Delilah and Jessie when she was 6 months old and how they're basically sisters. "So I was on the streets and then Papa Combs decided he would like to be a caring man. He picked me up and said come inside and play with his kids," Ava said.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
But let that sink in. On the streets, pick me up. This wasn't just a family friend or a sleepover situation. This was a child describing being brought into Diddy's house with little to no real backstory. So where did Ava even come from? Who are her real parents? And according to sources, Ava Baroni's parents were close friends with Kim Porter, Diddy's longtime partner and mother to the Combs twins. Now, Kim Porter died in 2018, officially from lobar pneumonia. But even her death never sat right with the public. But here's where things got creepy. Ava's parents allegedly distanced themselves from Diddy after the Cassie allegations came to light. They haven't spoken up. They haven't defended him either. They just vanished. So why'd they let Diddy adopt their child, even unofficially, in the first place? Was it a favor to Kim? Was it a part of a deeper arrangement? Or were they just trying to get their daughter closer to the music industry? Because remember, Diddy was known for mentoring young artists, especially under Bad Boy, and his short-lived Making the Band come back. But if they pulled away now, what does that say about what they saw behind the scenes? That's the biggest red flag. Since Diddy's legal drama, feds raiding his homes and lawsuits piling up charges, Ava Baroni has gone completely off the grid. Some fans speculate that she has been sent away for protection. Others say her parents might have taken custody back to shield her from being dragged into his mess. But what if it's deeper than that? What if Ava knows something that we don't? She lived in Diddy's house. She was a part of his family. She was there for his parties, for events. We don't know, but if she saw anything, she could be a key witness or a threat. But let's not act brand new here, because Cassie wasn't the only young woman Diddy allegedly. Remember when Cassie testified that Diddy used to bring male into these hotel rooms and force her to perform while he watched, or that he threatened to leak tapes when she started seeing Kid Cudi? Well, now compare that to Ava, a teenage girl being told she had a black parent now, introduced in viral clips with vague adoption claims, and being brought around his children unsupervised. It's a pattern. He uses power, proximity, and emotion to people, whether it's his artists, his lovers, or allegedly this young lady. Even fans who used to defend Diddy are turning on him. And let's be honest, Ava's video wasn't some comedy sketch. The girl looks serious. And if it was a joke, then why was she calling herself Ava Combs? But here's where things got really suspicious, because when TMZ asked about Ava Baroni's video, Diddy's team didn't deny it. They just didn't say it was fake. They just brushed it off as a skit, a joke, something lighthearted and harmless. But who jokes about adopting a child, and why frame it like Ava was picked up from the street and brought inside to play with his kids? That's not some comedy, that's weird. Even Ava looked unsure in the video, and she hesitated when he asked her name. She said, Ava Combs, then corrected herself to Baroni, like she wasn't even clear on what role she was supposed to play. And if it was just a skit, why did Diddy say this? You still have beautiful parents, but you're my child also. Tell them the story of how I adopted you.
You should tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. But please tell the story.
But that didn't sound like nobody's parody. That sounded like he was telling a narrative, a fake one, or maybe even doing a commercial, or maybe trying to soften his public image. But now that this image is burning, the video is backfiring extra hard. People are calling him out for using Ava as a prop, possibly even without folks realizing it. Remember, Cassie filed that lawsuit in 2023, and then out of the nowhere it got settled for $20 million. Now, at first people thought she was just wanting to move on, but after her new testimony, it's clear that she was just getting started. Now, during her federal testimony this year, Cassie said that she almost took her own life because of that Diddy blackmailed her with footage that he her into disturbing group acts with strangers. This isn't just a relationship gone bad. This was calculated to be. So when we look at the Ava situation in a similar light, we gotta ask, was Diddy trying to clean up his image, or was he trying to throw people off of his scent by posing as a loving dad? Because right now, everything looks strategic. But this right here is where this trial got real hot. Prosecutors played surveillance footage of Diddy Cassie at an Intercontinental Hotel in 2016. And it wasn't just a slap, it was a full-on Then in court, they dropped another bomb. After that incident, Diddy tried to break into Cassie's apartment with a hammer. Y'all, this is beyond anger issues. This is obsession, control. The same type of control he may have had over Ava's image, over these tapes, over everybody around him. Well, Cassie told the court that he used and keep her quiet. Now imagine that energy being around a teenage girl like Ava Baroni. If he had that much power over a grown woman with career and platforms, what chance did a young girl have? But let's not forget, this isn't no regular celebrity scandal anymore. The FBI literally raided Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami. They seized electronics, security footage, burner phones, hard drives, and the team is panicking. There's talk of 20,000 wiretaps, confidential informants, and even celebrities being named as witnesses. And every time more information leaks, it paints a clearer picture. Diddy wasn't just abusing women, he was possibly running a whole operation. So how does Ava Baroni fit into this? Well, was she just collateral damage, or was she someone who knew too much? Because we already know the feds are looking into everybody close to him. That includes children, staff, security, former assistants, and now alleged victims. Now let's talk about these photos, because the ones that Ava used to post with Diddy's daughters, Delilah and Jessie, they were seemingly close, real close, matching pajamas, holiday parties, birthdays. But here's what's weird. Ava always looked slightly out of place, like she was trying to be Combs' daughter but wasn't fully accepted by the public. Yet Diddy was pushing hard for this narrative, putting her in front and center, saying she was adopted, telling her to call him Papa, making her say she grew up with the twins. I met Jessie and Delilah when I was 6 months old, and then we were basically our sisters. Sounded sweet until you realize that means that she was in a home since infancy, and her parents weren't even in the picture at the time. But were they? Like, where are they now? And why did they distance themselves after Diddy's legal troubles began? So here's something that folks really don't want to say out loud, but it's definitely circulating behind the scenes. Ava might not be the only one. Insiders have whispered for years that Diddy kept a household of kids and teens around him, not just his own children, but aspiring artists, interns, even influencers trying to get their foot in the door. There's talk of girls being flowed out for a mentorship. There's talk of hush money being offered to their parents, all while Diddy posed as the generous father figure, just helping them out. And if Ava was part of that setup, then there's no wonder her family pulled away. It's possible that they saw what Cassie lived through and they decided they wanted no part of that future. But let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Do y'all notice a pattern? Cassie was the trophy girlfriend, beautiful, obedient, and silenced. The Combs twins were perfect celebrity kids, dressed alike, always smiling on red carpets. And Ava, she looked like the final piece in Diddy's manufactured image, the progressive dad who even adopts a white daughter, supposedly as his brother love image. But when you zoom out, you start to see how calculated all this could be. Cassie said Diddy used threats, NDAs, and even his own kids to guilt her into staying. If he could love and family like with grown women, what do you think he would do with a teenager? And when things started crashing out, when Cassie filed that lawsuit and when the feds came a knocking, when the truth spilled, Ava was gone, like she never existed, like she was erased from the narrative. That's not a coincidence, that sounds like strategy. Now, at the end of the 2-day testimony, Cassie cried in court, not just for what she went through, but for other women who stayed quiet themselves, for girls who had never gotten a voice, for the children who might have been caught up in the shadows of his mess. And that's why Ava's story matters, because if a teen girl was used in an image boost during a time where Diddy was actively committing acts behind the scenes, then she may have been part of the illusion. And illusions, when they involve children, become crimes. Cassie's voice cracked open that door. Now it's time to let the rest of the truth in. Any takers? Well, the story ain't over. The trial is still unfolding and more evidence is leaking every week. And people are watching like hawks to see if Diddy's empire finally crumbles for good this time. Now, Ava Baroni might hold the key to unlocking what Diddy was really hiding. And if she ever decides to speak, it could change everything. Until then, though, we keep shining that light, we keep asking questions, we keep protecting the next Ava before it's too late. Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and hit that subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.